Hi, and welcome to Positive Parents TV for a look at the 6 ways positive parents can make kids happy. And we just listed them in the last video. Now we're going to go into a little bit more detail of what they are. But we must remember that to be a positive parent, you need to be able to role model. And role modeling to your children is the way that they learn. You're not going to get your child to be respectful if you're not giving them the respect or showing them respect to other people, because they're always watching you. So you need to remember that, and you probably do know that because you've probably been caught out. Often, like, you might accidentally say an inappropriate word in front of them because no one is perfect. Um, and they may later in the day you may hear them say that word, so we've only got ourselves to blame. So just be aware of yourself, and when they're around, that you are always modeling and they are always watching. So let's get on to the first way that children can be happy with your positive parenting, and they can show that through independence. So when you role model independence, doing things for yourself, teaching them that these are the jobs that they need to do for themselves, like self-care jobs, like washing hands after toileting, for example, toddler training, potty training, you teach them wash their hands after. And what you may see over the period of time, depending how quick they are at learning independent skills, and especially as toddlers, the self-care type skills, you'll see them doing it on their own. They're going into their memory banks, remembering what the routine is for potty training, and remembering that skill. So there you're seeing the independence that you taught. So when they're toddlers, it's probably more specific training of independence. When they get older towards teenagers, it is role modeling independence. So when you get up, you ask them to do something, it should be something you're already doing. Like for example, in my house, once we've finished with our plate of food, we get up, we take it into the kitchen, put the food scraps in the food recycling bag, then we rinse the plate off, make sure it's clean, and then leave it there to be washed. Fortunately, I don't have a dishwasher, so I am the dishwasher. Sometimes my kids, if it's on their jobs, but so it's a role modeling. We need to be, if we're asking our kids to do things like that, then we need to be doing it ourselves. You know, there are times when I might not immediately go up because I may just want to watch the end of a program we're watching, or I may be doing something, but as soon as I get up, I will take my plate through. So I have to have the same expectations on the independence of my children. If I'm teaching them independence, then I need to know that the job will be done, but it may be done in their time. And we're not talking about 2 days later. We are talking about the same within the same period of time. So role modeling is very key. So that's the first one. The second one is regarding reflection. It's so important that we teach our kids how to reflect. Yeah. So when they're younger, you might ask them questions like, so how did you feel about that? So you'll be again role modeling through your coaching style of questioning them. It gives them that self-empowerment that we want kids to have, because happy kids are self-empowered. They still need you, they still require you because you're their role model. But we're trying to self-empower them. And reflection is such a good thing. So use leading questions like that. How do you feel? What did you think about that? I loved that movie. What did you think? Who was your favourite character? So we're teaching them to think and reflect. So with older children, it is more on the emotional side and being able to make a reflection about their own behaviour. And then that leads on to our third one of self-correction. Self-correction is really important. When after reflection, do they need to self-correct behavior or their thinking? An example may be that you might have had a disagreement with them, one of you, both of you feeling frustrated, knowing the behavior that's expected from that. So, how do I calm down? Well, I need to walk away from the situation. Okay, you know, as I've highlighted before, all emotions are very valid. It's the behaviors that might need changing. It's how we behave with that emotion. So it's okay to be angry and frustrated. For me, when I feel those types of emotions, I walk away because it calms me down straight away. And it's one of the things that I always do is go walking, and I find it invigorating and um, calming. So it does work for me, the walking away. But I mean, as adults, we can hold our frustrations, our tempers back a lot more than kids can do because they're learning to control. So again, this leads into the fourth way we can make our kids happy is teaching them how to self-regulate, knowing their emotions, and then being able to think about, well, I feel this way. Am I able to discuss this in a reasonable way, or do I need to go away, calm down, then come back and discuss it? And these are how we have to role model these things. We role model with toddlers self-regulation through when they show inappropriate behaviours because of emotion. We might use the timeout step for calming down. We're teaching them these things. We may reward good behaviours related to emotions when they might self-correct and go, yeah, self-correction and self-regulation are very similar. They may correct the behavior. Self-regulation is more about controlling the emotion, and then obviously self-correcting behavior relating to that. So they go hand in hand, and it's all about self-reflection. So it's so important that we model this for younger kids through questioning, with specific questioning. With older children, it's more about the role modeling itself. But we can still use those questions. They're very valid questions. How do you feel? You know, if you were going into a therapy for in terms of mental health, they're going to ask these types of questions because they want self-empowerment. They want you to think about your own solutions. They want you to learn from what you've already know, what information you already know, and to use that. So it's really, really important. The fifth way of keeping kids happy via your positive parenting is through demonstrating respect. You must always show respect. Trying not to lose temper when you're frustrated is respecting that child, using your own calming down strategies to help support you with that. But teaching them the basics at a younger level, you're teaching them pleases, thank you, excuse me, all those polite words and positive words, that language that we like to use in society. We need to teach them, and they learn it through that role modeling. So if you're not using those sorts of polite terminologies, then don't think they're going to. A prime example of children copying parents' language, which is what we're going into now, is the sixth way we can keep our kids through positive communication and language. I was dropping a class off at the end of the day. One of the children that finds it difficult in school had a really good day, and I was going to talk to them. But they were excited about it because they knew they'd had a good day. Went up to their parent, and their parent virtually told them to F, you know, oh, go and play somewhere else. She used those words. So the child went away because the parent was talking to someone else. What she needed to say is, just wait, I'm really happy to listen to what you're saying, but just let me finish my conversation with whoever you're talking to. That would teach them the positive communication and language with that. But instead of her, she just told him using inappropriate language. She later heard him with his friend use exactly the same words. What do you think she did? She went and gave him an earful about using inappropriate language. But the reason he did was because of her. Our language, our positive language is so, so important. If you don't want to hear that positive language, that negative language, negative communication come out of your children, then don't use it yourself. I mean, I come from Australia where uh, inappropriate language is used in a social way, and it's not an excuse. But I'm a teacher, so I can't use that in the classroom. So I'm able to hold that off, that language. So all people are able to stop the swearing. And if you accidentally do it, you apologize straight away. Positive communication. That's a you're also teaching a self-correction technique. If you make a mistake, apologize for it if it needs to be apologized for. Yeah. So they're the 6 ways. Positive language and communication is so important throughout all this because positive parents are role models. So I hope to see you in our watching our next video. Just don't forget to subscribe, like, and click on that notification bell. Also, you might want to be interested in the 2 videos here. So it'd be great to see you watching those. Positivity, love and peace to all of you. Till next time. See you then.